आ जाएगा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्याश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। Having mentioned the glory of the sage, now he says, what are the obstacles on this path? In the 74th Sutra, he says, Vado na valabhyaha, Vado na avalambhyaha. Vain disputations and discussions should not be entered into, because reality is not a product of discussion and arguments. Discussion and arguments happen only at the level of intellect, and reality is beyond the intellect. There is no way any amount of talking, any amount of arguing which can justify or which can prove what this reality is. It is just not possible. People can say there is God, you cannot prove that there is God. If someone says there is no God, you cannot prove that there is no God. So where does it leave you? Each one to his own experience, because it is not a subject matter of the mind and the intellect. It is beyond. It has to be experienced in your own heart, as your own personal direct experience. Then alone, then as we said before, anirvachaniya, then words cannot, then what are you going to argue about it? So therefore, this truth, this Lord, this divinity, this cannot be proved through arguments alone. The arguments are not the pramana, the means by which reality can be established. There is discussion, there is inference, all these different means are there, but the only way the reality can be established is through aparoksha anubhuti. Aparoksha anubhuti, direct experience. That's the only way. And once that has been experienced, then let the whole world say anything, you know who you are. Isn't it? It is your direct experience that you are a man or you are a woman. Let the whole world say anything. Does it matter? You know, you are a man or you are a woman. With that type of conviction, do you have to prove to someone? Can it be, is it a point of argument? It is not. So same way, this truth also is also not a point of argument. For this, each person has to get away from all these arguments and discussions, instead perfect themselves, still the body, get away from the mind, body, mind, intellect, still the body, still the mind, still the intellect, make the intellect single pointed towards the divine, and by thinking about that divine Lord, by thinking about that divine truth, and transcend. In Vedanta we say transcend, in devotion we say surrender. Isn't it? Language is same. Transcend the body, mind, intellect equipment, transcend the body, mind, intellect equipment. Because there is no thinking. Once the mind which is feeling the love has merged into its Lord, then where is the mind left? Nothing. And this way, only when this love starts emanating in the mind, when this love starts growing in the mind, this conviction comes in the mind that this truth alone needs to be pursued. I understand it cannot be known. I understand it cannot be known by the mind, and yet I must continue to pursue it through the faculties that I have. This suspicion that there is something there, it will take you the way. Otherwise, if initially it comes as that, maybe there is something, maybe there is Lord, maybe there is some power, maybe there is something which these masters are experiencing and I am not, what is it? Like when my grandfather was sitting in meditation, what is it that after third Om he used to go into meditation? Why is he sitting like this? He is not breathing, heartbeats are very far apart. Where has he gone where I have not been yet? Curiosity, isn't it? Only once it has to catch you. Only once. Then it starts, and you have to keep giving it fuel. What is the fuel? Fuel of attention. Then that curiosity becomes into full-fledged devotion towards that truth. And what is that fuel? The fuel of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, body, mind, intellect, relations, people, friends, wealth, money, opposite sex. Everything is being offered as fuel to it. To that curiosity. Let it blaze and burn away everything. Then there is a possibility of a direct experience. And here, क्या बोलते हैं, नाच न जाने आंगन टेढ़ा बोलते हैं ना. तो वैसे the saying is नाच न जाने. You don't know how to dance, but you are twisting your body this way, that way. You don't know what the truth is, but you are twisting your mind, your intellect in arguments. Not going to give you anything, only a disturbed mind. So avoid it. And this way, nothing can be proven by the arguments. Let them be. Do not, if someone says that the truth is like this, okay, Baba. No, truth is not like that, okay. Buddha was sitting and he was giving darshan. Everyone was coming. People were coming, asking questions, going away. And Angulimal was sitting behind. Angulimal is the same. The one who was collecting 108 fingers by killing people. So he was sitting behind, standing behind, watching what is going on. And first one person came, "Oh, Reverend Buddha, is there no God?" He says, "There is no God." He was satisfied, he went away. The next person came, "Oh, Reverend Buddha, Is there God? Yes, there is God. He also went away satisfied. He could see it in his eye, in those two people's eyes. Now, this Angulimal, standing behind, when the whole congregation was over, now Buddha was going to rest, he came up with a question. What are you? To one you said there is no God, another you said God. Why are you fooling people? Which is the correct one? He says, is it your question? It was their question. They were satisfied. Why are you disturbed? You do your inquiry and you peep into your heart and find out which one is the true for you. By my saying anything to you is not going to mean anything. They had done that inquiry. They had done their search. They wanted only confirmation. So what confirmation they needed, I gave them. So we are also like that. We are talking to each other, but ears are open. What is the other? Yeah, what did you say? Kailash, I also went to Kailash. Take over the discussion. But you made upma. I also know how to make upma. Take over. It's not necessary that everything that we hear to comment upon it. Everything that if two people are discussing, let them discuss. You have to put your nose in between and increase the argument. Maybe they are not arguing. They are discussing. But you come in. Now, bartan bajne lagte hain. Bartan bajne lagte hain, the utensils make noise. More the utensils, the more noise comes out. In the next sutra, Narada exposes more elaborately the futility of such conversations or of such controversies. Sutra 75 says, Bahulyavakashatvad Aniyatatvaccha when disputations are to be given up, because there can be endless diverse views and all mere arguments become ultimately inconclusive only. If you are a sincere devotee and you want to inculcate love in your heart and you want it to expand and you want the goal of God realization is clear in your mind, then even by default we must not get into arguments and discussions, because everyone has their own take on everything. In this room, just like in this room, we are all sitting at different positions in the room, having a unique view of the room. But each one's view is a limited view, isn't it? Based upon the position that they are sitting. And as much, now this is how the room looks. You will say, this is how the room looks. Now it can never match. No, the door is in front of me. No, the door is behind me. Now which one is true? And argue. Both are correct. 10 blind people touching the elephant from all different sides. One says it is like a pillar. Another says it is like a fortress wall. Another says that it is like a branch. Because he is holding the tail. Diverse views, but none of them have a whole view of the elephant. Why? Because they are blind. Similarly, we are blind in our intellect because we are thinking from our teeny mini intellect, which is only identified with its own viewpoint. And therefore, that there is Brahman, that's one viewpoint, Vedanta. Vishishta Advait, another viewpoint. Dvait, another viewpoint. Buddhism, another viewpoint. Reincarnation, another viewpoint. Charvakas, another viewpoint. And each one, and they can prove it. They have also studied. They are not kacha. All these people have written the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita from their point of view. Which one is correct? Which one is correct? Is the Vedanta Shankaracharya's Bhagavad Gita correct, or Ramanujacharya's Gita correct, or Madhvacharya's Gita correct, or Paramahamsa Yogananda's Gita based on Kriya Yoga, that is correct? Or who was this? Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who has written the Bhagavad Gita only from karma point of view, that is correct? Which one is correct? And all these 5-6 different viewpoints, people, those who have studied, they come and they start. What is the truth? Brahman is the truth. The other says, Lord is the truth. The third one says, world is the truth. The fourth one says, truth does not exist. And तू मैं हा हा हु कबड्डी चल रही है. There is no solution. There is no solution. The match is going on between all these argumentators, but it can never come to a conclusion. Why? Because each one, you cannot deny, each one of them have looked at life, looked at the scriptures in a particular manner, and they have come to those conclusions in their own life, and they can prove that through arguments. And you are also having certain conclusions in life, and you are also proving it. Now, and those two arguments do not match. What can you do? Because what is being done here, we are trying to prove to the other person. That is the problem. In argument and discussions, the only point is that others must adhere, must accept my point of view. And they must also think like me only. This is the problem. And that is not possible. A scientist, a physicist looks at the world in a different way. A biologist looks at it as a theory of evolution. An astronomer looks at it that the piece of sun fell down and became earth when earth creation was coming about. And you start arguing. Now slowly it's all melting together. But still there are different opinions, isn't it? That it was a big bang, then another, so many different ways, views are there. That it is that it is a product of positive and negative quarks. Which one is true? Evolution is true, positive negative quark is true, Big Bang is true. Which one? No answer. But you ask any one of them, they have written thesis, done PhDs, they have spent their whole life thinking about it, contemplating on it, and they can stand their ground. But no conclusion will come. And therefore, one must not, because each one is looking from their point of view. They don't have the total look, total view. And who can give us the total view? Who can give us the total view? Only the Lord. Only the Lord. Intellect cannot give you the total view. It is incapable. So what do you mean by saying that as we merge into the Lord, the individual intellect becomes total intellect? Meaning the individualized, crystallized, concretized intellect loses all its dimensions. Meaning it loses itself. That is total intellect. Total doesn't mean that it has dimensions. It loses itself completely. It dissolves. And in that, all understanding, all the secrets get revealed. Do they get revealed instantaneously? They may. But as you keep on surrendering yourself into that state of God realization, into that, and keep moving towards it, with single pointed devotion, everything, all these secrets, one by one, they start getting revealed. And in this way, each one has to come to investigate this truth in their own hearts by way of Vedanta, by way of devotion, by way of Kriya Yoga, Hatha Yoga, whatever, and understand and be convinced of it within your own heart, and that will only happen when you reach the destination. And in this way, the individual, he keeps himself, instead of wasting his energies in arguments, in discussions, in proving his point. Who was there? What was that? When Ashtavakra was there, the discussion was going on in the palace of King Janaka. And King Janaka, the scholars were there, and those scholars, one of the scholars, I can't remember the name, he had defeated many great scholars, and his rule was, if you can defeat me in discussion, a philosophical discussion, I will drown myself in the river, but if I defeat you, you have to drown it. And many scholars, great scholars of that time, had drowned themselves because they couldn't stand in front of him. And this Ashtavakra, as he was growing up, he used to ask his mom, please tell me who was my father, who was my father, who was my father. And in the end, one day, under intense pressure from her son, she tells him. And the moment she tells him, he said, what? He was such a great person and you kept it hidden from me, that he was a great scholar. And he has also studied the scriptures, this Ashtavakra, from the teacher, and he is practicing meditation, everything. And in that moment, the moment he comes to know that my father was a great scholar, and he drowned himself in the river because he was defeated by this person in the palace of King Janaka in the debate. He says, I'm going. And he walks out of the house. The mother says, I don't want to lose you, I don't want to lose you. He walks. And one of his very good friends, who is a better student than him in the ashram, he says, I will come with you. He's a very dear friend of his. He also goes. And they go and go to the palace and this philosophical discussion is going on. And when they reach there, they announce that we have come, and they ask who are, first thing, not even who has come. They approach, and all the scholars there, they start laughing at Ashtavakra, because Ashtavakra means who is twisted in body at 8 points. So the spine was like this, the hand was like that, the leg was like that, the hip was coming this side, the head was hanging on one, 8 places. Krishna can also be called Ashtavakra because he is also, when he plays the flute, he stands twisted in 8 places. And they laugh. He says, what are you laughing at? I thought I had come to a congregation of wise people, but I see only cobblers here. And everyone becomes angry because they are all Brahmins, they are Pandits, they are scholars. And they say, he must be punished, he must be punished. And he is not addressing them, he is looking at the king. Oh King Janaka, you are great and you have got a great thing going on here. But I thought, is this the right place where debate goes on? He says, yes. He says, this is where all the scholars come together and discuss about the truth? He says, yes. But I can't see any scholar. He says, what do you mean? He's not even ready to, Ashtavakra is not even ready to talk to any one of the scholars from the king's side. And the king says, please introduce yourself. He says, I am so and so. I am Ashtavakra, the son of, because he has just found his identity. He says, I am son of so and so, who was defeated by this person in the same congregation, and he drowned himself. So I have come to debate. But I came to debate him, but I am very disappointed that I am going to debate a cobbler. I think I should go away from here. And that scholar, he became like fire. He said, this fellow must be punished. How can he come into the court of the king and insult us like this? Who are revered by the society, who are revered by the king, who are the upholders of religion, who are upholders of the philosophies, blah, blah, blah. And the discussion begins. And Ashtavakra, even though he has not completed his schooling in those times, but he says, my Guru's grace is there and my father's grace is there. And he, whatever the questions he is asking, so in debate, each one is asking questions to each other and they have to give answers. It's not that you just ask the question and I give the answer, but you also have to say with response to that. And this was going on and on and on and on. And after some time, Ashtavakra asked a question and that scholar could not answer. The whole palace became quiet. A pin drop silence. He says, please answer. Knowing knowledge in your head is great. What is the experience of Brahman? Please tell. Last 2 hours, 3 hours you have spent debating with me. Tell me what is the experience of Brahman. He becomes quiet. And that scholar also quietly gets up, does namaskar to everyone, prostration to everyone. He says, I have got defeated and I must drown myself in the river. At that time, this young boy, 12, 14 years old, Ashtavakra, he tells, I did not come here to take anyone's life. I came here to teach that discussion is good, but if it is bringing about arrogance, if it is bringing about destruction, then it is not good. What right did you have to take away the father from me? What right you had to take the life of so many great scholars just to prove that you are the best? I don't want your life. No, let me die, I have to die. He says, no, your death is to live with this shame for the rest of your life. Because every day you will have to remember how many people's life you took. The argument does not take you anywhere. It only destroys. And in this way, that truth which is only known through surrender, which is only known by transcending body, mind, intellect, equipment, how can that experience be talked about? How can that reality, how can that God who is in the center of your heart, from devotion point of view, who is the center of consciousness, which makes you see that you are the center of consciousness, that reality is the center of consciousness, and you and the reality are not two, you and God are not two, and come to this unspoken realization that the entire creation is in me, but I am not in this entire creation. I'm expressing through the entire creation, but I am independent of this entire creation. This can only come to be known in the deepest of your heart. It cannot be known through books, through arguments, through discussions, through listening to a tape, watching a video. No. It's a state which is beyond where all faculties fail, beyond the senses, beyond all emotions, beyond all ideation and conceptualization. So therefore we keep saying many times, this talking also will stop one day, if the Lord wants. If He sees that I am doing the right thing, He will make it continue. If He thinks, मेरे को ही उल्लू बना रहा है, it'll stop. Making a fool out of me. Whatever His will. And in this way, the sage Narada is warning us that he has not given us too many pointers. Be afraid of this, be afraid of that, this is the obstacle, that is the obstacle, this is the obstacle. And the student starts thinking, Arey baap, I have to be alert about so many things. Here he is talking only about one. Stop arguing and discussing. Stop arguing and discussing. Then what should you do? Then what should I do? Then is there any way to know the divine? Is there any way, if I can't talk to anyone about my doubts, I can't talk to anyone about my shortcomings, am I going on the right path? Am I not going on the wrong path? How do I cultivate this devotion then? So he says in chapter 8, Sutra 76, Bhakti Shastrani Mananiyani Tad Udbodhaka Karmani Karaniyani Bhakti Shastrani Mananiyani Tad Udbodhaka Karmani Karaniyani Tad Udbodhaka Karmani Karaniyani. He says books on devotion should be reflected upon and their instructions must be pursued diligently. Just like in Vedanta we say Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam, isn't it? 3 steps. Listening, reflection and contemplation. Same step is here also. That Mananam is Mananiyani. Just like when we read the Puranas or we read the Vedanta texts, Upanishads, the system in the Upanishads is listen to the Upanishads, then in your free time, whenever if you have forgotten something, you can read the Upanishads, but always first listen. Then whatever the doubts are, whatever that you have not understood, you reflect upon it to remove those doubts. The lesser the doubts, more is the conviction. Mananam is what I have listened, is it true or not? So 100% conviction has not come, but because he looks very happy after studying Vedanta or meditation. Or what are you doing? He tells. Then you also want to begin on it. He says, okay, read that book by Vivekananda, or read that book by Krishna, or read that book by Patanjali Yogi Maharaj, and you read. And then, aisa hota hai. And then you start, there are so many doubts. then the teacher has been, and you continue being in the satsang, and continuously your mind is bombarded with the statements of truth, and somewhere along the line you accept that yes, this must be the way, otherwise they are speaking for so many years, he is chanting the name of the Lord for so many years, and he is blissful, he is always in a blissful mood. What is it? How can he sit for 3 hours in silence? There must be something more to it. Why am I not able to sit? And he starts the exploration, and that is reflection, where it is not that what doubts you have, you want to establish those doubts. No, but my way of thinking is correct. No, there is no argument and discussion. Whatever we hear in the scriptures, we must change our experience to conform to the experience that is given in the, or to the instruction that is given in the scriptures. If they are saying control your senses, you say no, I am not going to control the senses, but yes, I still want to realize the truth. It will not happen. Why it is there to control the senses? Why should I control? What is wrong with the senses? And you start arguing in this way, then it is no good. It is not going to take us anywhere. So our conclusions in life must conform to the statements given in the scriptures. And for that, reflection is necessary. And when the conviction has reached that point where hardly any doubts are left, at that time automatically this reflection turns into contemplation. Where it turns into contemplation, that is not your decision. It happens. In Veda, in yoga, they say dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Dharana is remembering the name of the Lord or the Om. Dhyan, when it takes you into meditation. So when does reflection convert into or transform into contemplation or meditation? That is not your choice. Your doing is only up to reflection and increasing the conviction that the pursuit of truth, the pursuit of love in our heart, the expansion of love in our heart, our mind becoming single pointed on the consciousness within, that must keep increasing and increasing and increasing as a result of our reflection. And in this way, same way, depending upon, see, I have studied, first time I read Gita, before going to the ashram, I did not understand anything. Why? My understanding of study of Gita used to be that Om Namo Narayanaya. Today's message for the day is this verse. And again, if I am having any trouble, Om Krishna, 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 Krishna. This. And then I used to have doubt, yeah, iska matlab kya hai? I couldn't understand. This was my study of Bhagavad Gita. Zero understanding. Then I went to ashram, studied with Anubhavananji. That time there was another understanding of Bhagavad Gita, great appreciation. Then I took Bhagavad Gita. Now I am taking it fourth time, the entire Bhagavad Gita. Every time that I have taken, it is revealing something more and more. Because I am not the same person who taught Bhagavad Gita or reflected upon Bhagavad Gita 15 years ago. So depending upon what is the growth within this spiritual aspirant, within this seeker, to that extent the understanding will come, isn't it? So if our convictions are conforming with the scriptures, our conclusions are conforming with the scriptural instructions or directives, then there is growth. But if you are going to maintain the opposite stance out of stubbornness, out of no, but I'm not going to believe this, who can change then? Then there is no growth. You will remain in that limited understanding alone. And in this manner, expand, and this way one must come to a point. Look at Narad Muniji. He has not just taken the name of the Lord. He has studied all the Upavedas. He has studied all the Vedas. He is a master warrior. He is a master musician. He is a master linguist. He is a master astronomer. He is a master, doctor, Ayurveda. He is a master administrator. He is best at everything. He is best at everything. And he knows the truth. Therefore, he has free entry into the sanctum sanctorium of the Lord. Any time, if he is sleeping, if he is playing with his wife, if he is teasing his wife, or there is some deep discussion going on, or there is a fight going on, he has got no problem. He goes and appears. Lord will never say, get away from here. He has that free entry. Do we have the free entry to sit in meditation at a moment's notice? Oh, first the heater should be there, the fan should be there, the seat should be right height, right softness, the clothes. Arey yaar, I should tie my hair, I should do this, I should do that, take the glasses out. By that time Lord has gone. He's busy with other things. I am waiting, he's keeping me waiting for such a long time. This is what we do, isn't it? But look at Narad Muniji. Whenever he wants, he thinks of Lord Narayana and he is there with him. That acumen, that ability, that capacity, that readiness, it can only come through complete surrender. It can only come to a person who has reached that climax. Isn't it? We can sit in meditation, but is our mind, has the mind got absorbed into the Lord? It doesn't even go to sleep sometimes. What Lord? So this way, mananam, one must contemplate. And here in devotion, it is told that when you read devotional texts, what are devotional texts? Read the Puranas, read the Bhakti Shastras, read Bhagavatam. And when you listen to the various stories of the devotees of the Lord, contemplate upon them. What does Ras Leela mean? What does it mean that I've been giving you some tidbits here and there, that Radha was picked up by Krishna and the clothes stealing by Krishna. So there is philosophical meaning behind that. That will not come through. You may read it because someone else has explained it. I have also read it from somewhere. But now to see that happening all the time inside you, where your thoughts, the gopis, are always circling around Krishna, the consciousness within, the Lord within your heart. Is that happening? So story is one thing, explanation is another thing, that you are very with great vocabulary and everything you are able to explain, but is it your direct experience? Have you contemplated upon what is the secret hidden in that? Not just intellectually. Have you felt what the gopis were feeling? Have you felt what Sudama was feeling in spite of all the poverty with regards to Krishna? See? So this can only come through mananam, meaning reflection on the stories of the Lord. And here, as they say, bhakti shastrani mananiyani tad udbodhaka karmani. Karmani karniyani. Our actions, our quality of actions in life only depend upon the thoughts that we cultivate in our head, isn't it? In our intellect. What convictions are there? Based on those convictions, automatic responses come out of us, which are called as actions at the level of thought, word and deed. So not only you have to just study and be a proficient speaker on the Bhakti Shastra, on the method of devotion, but people will know whether you are fooling them or you are actually with it. So first part of the verse talks about mananam, that is the inner realignment of our personality, the mind and the intellect, with the goal that is being presented by the Bhakti Shastrani, the scriptures, the devotional texts. And the second part, tad udbodhaka karmani karniyani, tells us that once that has become the mainstay of our mind, our personality makeup from individuality is slowly changing towards divinity, is moving towards divinity, where nothing but divinity is expressing and occupying the entire heart and mind. Then such a person's action out there in the world will reflect where his mind is, isn't it? When Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was approached by one mother and she said, my son eats too many sweetmeats. Swamiji, just tell him, whenever you say something it happens. You tell him, please stop eating gulab jam, rasgulla. He says, come after 1 week. He could have said it, stop eating, but it was not his experience. He used to love rasgullas. But that great master, for 1 week, he did not eat rasgullas. And then after 1 week she came, he said, son, don't eat rasgullas, okay? And he went, he said, okay sir. The mother was frustrated. She said, I came from so far away and spent money to bring him here because you are great, so I came back again. Why couldn't you say the same thing 1 week ago when I came the first time? He says, because it was not my experience. I had not practiced what does it mean not to eat rasgulla and not be disturbed by it. My words will have effect. My words can change, will carry the power only when I have that experience, isn't it? When I have that conviction. So also here Narad Muniji is saying that our vichar within our mind our achar, our conduct in life, karmani, by thought, word and deed, our achar, our conduct in life must reflect the convictions, the vichar that we have in our head. Most of in English they say, walk your talk, isn't it? Or in other words they say, as you think, so you speak and so you act. They must be synchronized. This is what it is. Achar and vichar must be synchronized. They should not be poles apart. Because if they are poles apart, it is a destruction of your personality. And such a seeker must not wait कि after retirement I am going to study the scriptures. Right now life is too busy to get out of it. No. On that, when next year when Ram Navami comes, how many more months to Ram Navami? 3 more months. Achha, after 3 months I will start. Many people say, I must start exercise. Yeah. I am going to start from tomorrow. That tomorrow hasn't come yet. So what is the best time to start? Right now. Right now. Chant the mantra, study the books, make yourself committed to the goal. And that can only be done now. If you postpone it, it will keep getting postponed one day to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Which one you should follow, which path you should follow, which Lord's name you should follow. Don't worry, start with something. Begin. Let the Lord guide you from inside. He knows best. Who are we to decide what is required by us and what is not required by us? We are fools. So therefore take to this path, take to this devotion, take to the chanting of the name of the Lord straight away without wasting any moment. Saturate your mind with the name of the Lord. Saturate your mind with the love for the Lord. Where even in sleep the mind is chanting the Lord. It does not allow you to go to sleep. That will be the fantastic day. Why? Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Yes, Lord, please let me go to sleep. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then you come. Swamiji, this is happening. That's auspicious. Mind has to think something. It is thinking about children, it is thinking about lunch. It is thinking about, acha, if not lunch, tea. If not tea, coffee. When will it end? When will it end? We have to make the decision to drop the world. We have to make the decision not to drop the world in the sense, okay, I will not. We have to make the decision to become devotee. Chant the name of the Lord. And let the Lord do what He does best, which is make you one with Him. Because from His point of view, you are already His. You have never been away from Him. So in this manner, the more a person reflects, living in truth means living your convictions. Living in convictions means acting out your convictions in life. And such a devotee can only speak about the Lord, can only talk about the Lord, can only talk about the truth. Therefore, if you see our life, every day satsang. Why? Mad dog has bitten me. Yes, mad dog called Lord. Come, why you are not coming? Go, go, come quick. Sometimes it must pain us. Why still not it hasn't? So many years we have passed, so many lifetimes we must have done something right that we are getting exposed to these scriptures, we are getting exposed to the Lord's name, we are getting exposed to the truth. So many billions of people are there on earth, and here we are spending our holidays for 6 days thinking about what devotion is. We must have done something that Lord has brought us to this point. Then where am I lacking in life that the journey is not concluding? And continue to offer that as an oblation into the love for the Lord. Cry out for Him. Scream out. How long more? How many more years I have to take lectures, or days I have to take lecture, talk on this? Enough of talking. So here Narad Ji is telling all this because he is trying to inculcate the urgency that don't postpone it. What you are feeling just now, at this moment, let that feeling be there. Not only once a day, not only once every satsang. Every moment that you are living, keep remembering that. That is love. And why you have still kept me away from yourself? Why am I still getting involved in everything? Why am I still getting arguing? I read argument is not right, still I am getting arguing. Lord, help me. So instead of importance of the argument, mouth is arguing, but your mind is, Lord, please save me from this. Please deliver me from this. You are still interacting with the world, doing your duties, but the mind is on the Lord. Please make me withdraw from all this. Make me merge into you. That was the exercise given before, isn't it? So in this way, the Lord is saying, Sage Narada is saying, right here and now, at this very moment is the right time for us to sing the name of the Lord and bring Him into our heart. Shri Ram. नहीं कौन सा भजन था? What were the things? Ishwar Allah Tero Naam and the second line?
जानकी जीवन राम नाम भजतु प्यारे.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. 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 सीताराम जय सीताराम. भज मन प्यारे सीताराम. सीताराम सीताराम. भज मन प्यारे सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम. भज मन प्यारे सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम. भज मन प्यारे सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम. सबको सन्मति दे भगवान. 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 रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. रघुपति राघव सीताराम. जानकी जीवन राम नाम. भज मन प्यारे सीताराम. जानकी जीवन सीताराम। वह जानकी जीवन राम नाम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम। जानकी जीवन राम नाम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन 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 सीताराम। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम, सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह नाम, सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। जानकी जीवन राम नाम, सबको भज मन प्यारे सीताराम। जानकी जीवन राम नाम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। राम राम जय सीताराम, राम राम जय सीताराम। राम राम जय सीताराम, राम राम जय सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम। सीताराम जय राम राम, सीताराम जय राम राम। सीताराम जय राम राम, सीताराम जय राम राम। राम राम जय राम राम, राम राम जय राम राम। राम राम जय राम राम, राम राम जय राम राम। राम राम जय राम राम, राम राम जय राम राम। राम राम जय राम राम, राम राम जय राम राम। श्री राम जय राम, श्री जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, 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 जय जय राम। श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। जय राम जय जय राम
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita 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 Ram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Ratit Pavan Sita Ram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patit Pavan Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya 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 Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita जय राम
Shri Ram Jaya Ram
जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम